So now, after we have finished our meditation session, we can look at the recitation of three refuges and the 5 precepts. So everyone, please unmute yourself. You can keep your hands together and touch the chest by your thumbs. And we can start. Hopefully Yamuna is gone. Okay, Yamuna is back. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. So now you will ask me, now you will request me, that means you will demand, you will ask me for the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. You take the 3 refuges because they show you the way, they show you the method how to be happy in this life and in the next life. And you follow the 5 precepts because that's one of their guidance on how to be happy this life and the next life. So you can repeat after me. Aham bhante tisaraṇena saha pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ yājāmi. Anuggaham katvā sīlaṃ deta me bhante anukampaṃ upadāya. Dutiyampi aham bhante tisaraṇena saha pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ yājāmi. Anuggaham katvā sīlaṃ deta me bhante anukampaṃ upadāya. Tatiyampi aham bhante tisaraṇena saha pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ yājāmi. Anuggaham katvā sīlaṃ deta me bhante anukampaṃ upadāya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, tatiyampi dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saranam gacchāmi. Yamona, did you recite with us? So now I will announce to you that indeed going for refuges is complete, and you can reply Ama Bhante, which means yes, Venerable Sir. So let's do that together. Sarana Gamanang Paripunnang. So now come the five precepts. The first precept means I follow the precept of refraining from killing living beings. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. The second precept means I follow the rule of refraining from taking what is not given. That means we never steal. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. The third precept means I follow the precept of refraining from sexual misconduct, which means we never break families, we always cherish other people's relationships. Kame sumichhāchāra veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. The fourth precept means I follow the rule of refraining from false speech, which means we never tell lies. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. The fifth precept means I follow the precept of refraining from drinking alcohol and taking drugs. Sura meraya majja. Pamadatthana. Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. So now I will encourage you all to follow these 5 precepts, to protect the 3 refuges, and to be mindful. Why would you be mindful? We decided to be mindful after meditation, and we also decide to be mindful when we take precepts. Why is that? Well, if you are mindful, you can notice that you are angry when you are angry. You can notice that you are greedy when you are greedy. You can notice that you are peaceful when you are peaceful. You can notice that you are satisfied when you are satisfied. You can notice that you want to help when you want to help. This is very powerful. If you notice that you are angry or greedy, then you can stop that anger, you can stop that greed, because you noticed it well. If you notice that you are peaceful, satisfied, or that you want to help someone, well, then you can work on it further so that you are even more peaceful, even more satisfied, even more helpful. So we always keep mindfulness, and we try to distinguish what are the good thoughts and bad thoughts. When we have a bad thought, when we want to harm someone else, then we eradicate it, we need to remove that. When we have a good thought, we need to grow it so that our good thoughts fill the mind, and there is no space for the thoughts that hurt others. And then after I encourage you like this to protect the three refuges, follow the 5 precepts, and be mindful, you can reply Ama Bhanti, which means yes, Venerable Sir. So let's try that together. Tisaranena saddhing pañcasīlaṃ dhammang sadhukang surakkhitāṃ katva appamadena sampadetaṃ. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana. Very well. Okay, so I have noticed that Tulanli meditated with her head totally down. Was that because you were tired? Did you notice it?
I didn't notice.
You did not notice it? Okay. So next time when you meditate, notice it, because it's not healthy at all. You may have pain in your neck and other problems which are not good. So please be careful. Alright. So now I want to actually introduce you to the Jatakas. So we have started our drawing group in Facebook, and we have got there a few drawings, not many though. And I wonder whether you actually know that there is a new story, that there is the first story in the group. So if you have noticed that there is a story in our Facebook group for drawing, please raise your hand. Please raise your Zoom hand. Okay. Oops. Did you understand the story in our Facebook drawing group?
Yes.
Okay. Very well. Lyric, did you find it easy to understand the story in our Facebook group?
A little bit. It was confusing at first.
Okay. I will explain the story. So I will change the system, and I will first explain to everyone the story, and then you will be drawing, so that I'm sure that everyone knows that there is a story, that everyone understands the story, and so that everyone can easily draw. You will then need to read the story anyway, but I will already tell you what is in the story, so that you will not get so much confused. So we are still waiting for Daniel and Jonathan, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any contact with them so that we could ask them what's the problem?
Oh, sorry. I don't have contact with anybody.
Okay. They should have their parent in our Viber group.
Yes, I will test them right now.
Jonathan and Daniel, I see them here.
Yes, I will text them on the Bible.
Seems like they don't have Viber on, but it provides you with their phone number. Do you know that?
Oh, they are here, sir.
Oh, they're here.
Jonathan.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
Jonathan, how's Daniel? Is he coming?
Yeah, I just logged in because my dad just sent me the passcode and the ID.
Okay.
Now, logged in right now.
Good. Does Okay, so you actually had to ask your dad to get you the password and the ID, and then you got the password and the ID, and then you could return it. Okay.
Sorry everyone, I'm not too familiar with this, that's why.
Nothing special. This can happen to anyone. So, Jonathan, did you know that we have a story? Did we have our first story in our drawing group in Facebook?
Yeah, I actually did.
Yes. Then can you please raise your Zoom hand?
Oh,
And we are still waiting for Daniel. So we still don't have Daniel. Are you sure, Jonathan, that Daniel is coming?
yeah, I'm sure. I'll go check it's not working. You can't
It's not working. So you have to join together from one computer?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, so I will introduce you everyone to the system of the story so that you can understand it. Sandy, can you please allow me to share screen? Do you know how to do that?
Oh yes. Make a host.
Okay, thank you. So now what we have here is a Facebook group. So everyone, you can now remove your Zoom hand, that's okay. So we have here a Facebook group. It's called Buddhism Drawing for Kids. I will send you the link to that group here in Zoom so that you have it. And we have there our first story, and we will do it in the way that I will first explain to you the story, and then you will be drawing according to the story, which means that this story, which is there now, you see our story number 1, will be there one more week for you to draw. It will stay there even after that, but for drawing you will have this 1 week more And then next week I will explain you another story. And then you will be drawing for the story that I explain for you instead of reading alone. So I will explain to you what is in this story. But first, I want to explain to you what are these stories about. They are called jātaka. Jātaka means a story from previous life. And before we get to the story, I want to share with you a little bit of the wisdom from the Buddha, from the Buddhist scriptures, on what is a previous life or past life. So now some of you are 10 years old, some of you are 9, some of you are 8, some of you are 7. Now, 1 year ago, you were 1 year less old, right? Suppose you're 9 years old. So 1 year ago, you were 8 years old. That makes sense, right? 1 year ago, before when you were 8, 1 more year ago, you were 7 years old. Okay? 1 more year ago, you were 6 years old. 1 more year ago, you were 5 years old. 1 more year ago, you were 4 years old. 1 more year ago, you were 3 years old. 1 more year ago, you were 2 years old. 1 more year ago, you were 1 year old. And now, 1 more year ago, you were born. What does that mean, born? You came out of your mom's belly. And 1 more year before that, you actually, about 9 months before that, you appeared in your mom's belly. Is that so far everyone understands? Yes? 9 months before that, you appeared in your mom's belly. Now, where were you before that? Where were you before that? Anyone has any idea? Tempo?
In the life before?
That's the previous life. Before that, you could have been 90 years old grandpas and grandmas. You could have been 100 years old elephants. You could have been, well, I forgot. Just wait for me. I need to check the age of mosquitoes. So before that, you could have been 7 days old mosquito. You could have been a 1,000 years old ghost. You could have been 100,000 years old hell being who was suffering for 100,000 years. You could have been 10 million years old God. And at that time, you died and you appeared in the belly of your mom. And in that life, if you were, for example, 90 years old grandpa or grandma, where were you those further 90 years before? Where you were? Well, you were in a belly of your mom. But what happened 1 year before you came into the belly of your mom? Well, you were in a different life, in a past life. So in this manner, we have many, 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 many past lives. The Buddha says it is not possible to see the beginning. I believe the Buddha could see the beginning, but for us who are not Buddhas, we cannot see the beginning. it is difficult to understand how the beginning, or what is the start, or whether there is a start, or how is a start there. But you can think of thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives before this life, millions, gazillions of lives before this life, uncountable lives. So Jātaka is a story from the Buddha's previous life. It is not a story from the Buddha's past life. Now there is a problem with these lives. What's the problem with having life and life and life? Anyone has any idea? Ao has an idea? Please speak loudly.
You're still gonna suffer.
What kind of suffering could be there? Age. Okay. Tempon was raising his hand.
I forgot.
Okay. Alison?
You could be like suffering from dying over and over again.
Yes, that's right.
I forgot the last one.
Okay. So Daniel was raising his hand first. Daniel, what about if you sit? Do you have a chair so that both of you can sit? Okay. So Daniel, you need to come close to the microphone. Okay. Come close to the microphone and tell me why did you raise your hand?
Because the last suffering, the first suffering is birth.
Birth. Yes. Okay. There's also suffering of birth. Anything else could be a problem of life and life and life and life. Jonathan?
It would like never end, and you would always be in like a triangle of suffering.
You mean a circle of suffering? Definitely, that is maybe possible. Hard to tell. If you follow the Buddha's teachings, you can actually achieve the end. But the question is, what is the problem of having another life and another life and another life? Some people have mentioned here suffering, but I want a little bit more exact mention of this suffering that is really a problem. What kind of suffering could be a really problem in these lives? No idea? What about suffering in hell? Yes, suffering in hell. Suffering in hell is pretty bad. Yes, Tempon?
You could be suffering as a ghost.
That's right. Suffering as a ghost, suffering as an animal, suffering in hell. So there is a problem that as you go from life to life to life, sometimes you fall into hell. Not just in the past, but if you continue in more lives, you will after some time fall into hell anyway, because it's very hard to maintain the conditions for life as a human or life in heaven. Sometimes you will make a mistake, and then you fall into hell. Now the problem is not so much in falling in hell. Well, so you fall in hell and then you come back up, right? So what's the problem? There is a problem. Yes, Tempon?
You could continue to be bad and bad?
Maybe, but there is another problem. And that's a bigger one. And that is that most of our existence, we are in hells. And that's the problem. Yes, Alison?
Is there only like one place of hell, or is there like many different places?
There are many different places of hell. So the problem of hell is there. Now think about it like this. Suppose that I will tell you now, I have 9 candies, but in order that I allow you to eat those 9 candies, you will have to eat also one little rock. Will you agree that you will eat 9 candies and the little rock also? Or will you just give up and say, you know what, I don't want any of your candies because I don't want that rock? Who would agree to eat a rock so that you can have 9 candies? Would agree with that? Anyone else? Okay, would get it all. Okay. Now suppose that I will tell you I have 5 candies and 5 rocks. Would you agree to take those 5 candies if the condition would be to eat the 5 rocks also? What about Ao? Would you still agree to take the 5 candies with 5 rocks? Maybe, not sure. Depends on how big would be the rocks, right? Now suppose that I would give you 1 candy and 9 rocks. You can have this 1 candy only if you eat also the 9 rocks. Who would agree with that? Would you still agree with that? No more? But you will get no candy, right? Is that okay? Okay. Now the problem of these lives is that it is like 1 candy and 1,000,000 rocks. So it's a bad deal. Do you see that? It's a very bad deal. So you get 1 life which is comfortable and nice and pleasurable, and then you have 1,000,000 such, of such length, and that is suffering. And extremely, really, really bad suffering. Like if you eat rock, it's just a little bit uncomfortable, and then you get free from the rock at the toilet. But this suffering is really, really bad. This suffering I'm talking is like, did you ever have a drop of hot water come on your hand, or drop of hot oil come on your hand? Did you ever experience that? Some of you have. Now suppose, was that pleasant or was it unpleasant? Was it pleasant or unpleasant?
Unpleasant.
Unpleasant, yes. Anyone thinks it's pleasant to have a drop of hot water or a drop of hot oil on your hand? Nobody thinks that. Now suppose that you would have a big, you would have a large amount of hot water falling on your hand, on all of the hand. How would that feel? That would be pretty bad, right? Now suppose that you would take all of your arm and put all of your arm into a hot water, into a boiling water. That would be pretty bad, right? Even if it was for 1 second, it would be pretty bad, right? Now suppose that you would jump with all of your body into a boiling water, just for 1 second. Still, that's pretty bad. Now imagine that you would jump into that water and you would stay there 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours, 1 day, 1 week. And hell is like that. But you are not in hell for 1 minute or for 1 hour or for 1 week. You're in hell for years. Cannot imagine. Cannot understand. Okay. Yes, Yamona has something to say. We cannot hear you. Yamona, please unmute yourself.
I don't remember having water on my hand, but I do remember a hot item on my body.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Yes, Jonathan?
Like if you break one of the precepts and then you do something good, well, like, can you like make up for that broken precept?
you will, two things can happen. Either the bad with the good will mix up, so you will experience little bit bad, or you will experience little bit good. Or they will not mix up, and you will experience suffering for some time and pleasure for some time. Okay? You can never remove things. You can never remove results of your good deeds, and you can never remove results of your bad deeds. It's the same for both bad and good deed. Yes, Danielle? Please come closer to the camera, to the microphone.
Is life in hell longer than human life?
I still don't hear you. Can you speak louder?
Is life in hell longer than life in human life?
Yes, much longer. That's why I say it is very, very long. It's for thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. You stay in the hell until you deserve it. In life, in hell, you die, but immediately you reappear again. And then you die again, and again you reappear. And again you die, and again you reappear. But we take it as one existence, because you're still just in the hell. Alison was raising her hand.
Are there any known pictures or any looks of any gods in hell?
Yes, Burmese people have a lot of pictures. And today there are Burmese monks who are able to see what's going on what was happening in their past lives, and they can remember how they suffered in hell and how they enjoyed in heaven. Today there are Burmese monks who actually visit heavens, and then they come back. They visit only by their mind, not by their body. But the Buddha and many monks actually visited by their body itself. So the body would disappear here, it would appear in the heaven, and then it would appear here back. The Buddha himself said that he visited the heavens by the mind-made body, that means by the mind, and also by the physical body. So he said that he visited the heavens in both ways. Yes, Temple? Yes, of course, there are many pictures. But I would like to tell you also the story. We're now stuck at past lives things. Well, I can show you pictures of gods. Hopefully that will not take so long. I have a huge amount, a large collection of these things, of these pictures. So I can definitely show you, and you will see for yourself. So let me see. So this is a picture of a god. Hopefully you can see it well. Look at this. Here is a ghost on one side, and here is a god on the other side. I will have much better pictures. Let me see. This is also a picture of God, but this is the god Mara, who came to stop the Buddha, thinking he can stop the Buddha before he becomes enlightened. Look at that. I have a statue. I have a lot of statues of gods. There's also a statue of God. These are not gods. Let me see whether I have some more. These are tiny little statues. This is a statue of a god. Also a statue of a god. Oh, these are nice. These are statues of gods. Now you see they look, the gods, they look like humans. They have beautiful clothes and a large hat on their head. We call it makai. But makai is a Burmese word. In Pali language we call it makuta. Makuta, that's this large helmet. But they feel very light in it, it's very comfortable for them to wear all of these clothes. And I think I will show you pictures from hell another day, because we need to go through the story. Yes, Tambon wants to say something?
How long? So for the
as soon as you pay the debt. So let's say if you, I don't know, just as an example, if you kill an animal, let's say if you kill a dog, you will have to stay in the hell for 500,000 years. If you kill a human, you will have to stay in hell for 5 million years. After those years, after you have spent the time in the hell, then you may go to human life if in the past you followed the 5 precepts. If you did not follow the 5 precepts, then there is no way for you to go to human life. But you can be born as an animal. And as an animal, if you follow the 5 precepts, you may be born as a human. It is very difficult. It is almost impossible to get back from hell to the human life. That's why I said it is like if you have 1 candy and 1 million rocks. It's not a good deal. Yes, Rere?
So, what if you kill like an animal on accident? Will you still go to hell?
You mean if you kill an animal in accident, then it doesn't count. Counts only when you do it intentionally. When you do not like this animal, or you want this animal to be dead and you kill the animal, then that's bad. Yes, Tembon?
Also, there's the meeting time is going to finish.
Excuse me?
It says meeting time, 6 minutes left before we get.
Yes, thank you. Yamuna? Yamuna, you're muted.
If you do one bad thing and like a lot of good things, can you not
You mean, can you get free from the effect from your bad deed? Well, that's actually what already Jonathan asked. If you do a lot of good deeds and you do one small bad deed, then 2 things can happen. Either the good deeds and the bad deed will mix up. So you will probably experience very little bit of the bad deed and less of the effects of your good deeds. Or they will not mix up. That means you will experience suffering from your bad deed for some time and a lot of pleasure for your good deeds. It is very hard to tell whether your good deeds and bad deeds will mix up or not. We never know. That's the problem in life, that you never know. How will your good deeds or bad deeds turn out? So the Buddha teaches his teachings so that we get free from birth, old age, sickness, and death, because we've been here quite a long time already. And maybe now is the time to get free. Yes, Alison?
So you said if you kill animals, that's a bad deed, correct?
That's right.
So how about like many people swap flies? Does that count as a bad deed?
Yes, that's a bad deed. But we consider it to be a small bad deed. So for this bad deed you will suffer. And if you do not do a good deeds, then you will suffer a lot. So you should not you should not kill any living beings, even flies. I never kill any living being, even a mosquito. Never. No exception. Yes, Aon?
I think I swallowed a fly before. Did that count?
Did you swallow it intentionally because you thought, oh, this fly must be so tasty?
At night I was just like messing around with it with my light on my bed, and then it flew towards me, and I think it went in my mouth.
So was it intentional or was it not intentional?
Not intentional.
Then it doesn't count. No problem.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There are some people who believe that you eat about 5 bugs every day at night. But it's a nonsense. So be careful about that. Some people will tell you probably if you meet weird guys or weird girls. Okay. Then let's move on to the story. We have 3 minutes for that. So this story contains two parts. Let me see. All right. So it contains two parts. One part is from the Buddha's life. This is what happened when the Buddha was the Buddha. This is the introduction. This is the last Buddha's life. What happened? A rich man came to the Buddha with his friends, and they listened to the Buddha, they learned the Buddha's teachings, and they became the Buddha's students. But when the Buddha left to a different village, these students stopped to be the students of the Buddha, and they started to follow other leaders, other teachers from other religions. And then the Buddha came back, they again listened to the Buddha, and again became the Buddha's students. The Buddha left, and again they stopped to be followers of the Buddha, and they returned to their previous religions. Like this, they did it 3 times. And then when the Buddha came, the Buddha told them, also in your past life, you are following a wrong leader, a wrong teacher. And because you followed a wrong teacher, you were killed. You died because you followed a wrong teacher. The Buddha teaches us how to be happy in this life and in the next life. The other teachers, the other religions, do not have that power. They cannot teach you how to be happy in this life and in the next life and be so clear and sure. The Buddha can provide you with the best instruction. The other teachers may teach you to drink a little bit of alcohol, to kill this animal or that animal, and therefore you could actually be born in hell, even though those religions promise you you will be born in heaven. So the Buddha explains that the Buddha is the teacher who is safe. If you follow the Buddha, you will not be born in hell. You will be born as a human or in heaven. But if you follow other teachers, it is no more sure. Yes, Tempo?
Is it like a bad deed to like follow the 5 precepts, change, follow 5 precepts, change?
I don't understand. Can you please repeat it?
Is it a bad deed to follow the 5 precepts but then change your religion and then follow it again?
You can change your religion and follow 5 precepts, and that's all good, but other religions will probably suggest to you that you break the 5 precepts sometimes. For example, when someone attacks you. In Buddhism, when someone attacks, excuse me, the story from, you are asking whether the story from the past life of the Buddha was true. Maybe. Burmese monks believe that yes. I don't know. I don't remember it. I don't remember being there. So it's very hard for me to say, yes, I was there, it was true. You know? But I think that either all or most of them were true. I don't know. Yes, Tempo?
I can't see your chat type in the chat.
I didn't type it in the chat. I typed it in Viber. Yes, Yamona? You forgot your question.
I watched a movie about an ogre, and it did not look like the pictures.
Yes, different people imagine ogres in a different way. But the pictures that I showed to you are either from Indian culture or from Burmese culture. So they're fairly reliable.
And ogres aren't real. So how are they in another life?
We believe that they are real. Yes, Tembong has something to say?
I didn't have something to say. I was just.
I totally believe that ogres are real. I only am not sure how exactly they look like, because today they usually come invisible. So they cause a lot of troubles in houses. I had a supporter in Sri Lanka, and they had an ogre in their house, and the ogre was pretty bad, pretty evil. In Sri Lanka, you have to hire a sorcerer to come to your house and to catch the ogre in a bottle, in a jar. And he takes away that jar and no more problem. Suddenly, you are happy, all problems are gone, and the sorcerer is also gone with the ogre. Yes, Tempo?
How did you know an ogre was in their house?
Because there was no other explanation. Usually when you have no explanation for how things are falling down, how things are destroyed, how people are injured, then you think maybe something caused it, what we don't see. And either it is a ghost or it is an ogre. And a ghost usually will not cause you too much injury. Some ghosts are pretty dangerous though. But ghosts are not so difficult, because you can chant the Buddha's teachings and sometimes the ghosts actually leave. With ogres, it's not so easy. Ogres are pretty strong, pretty powerful. Yes, Tempo?
I also read a book at school about there's these ghost types that like cause a lot of mess and shit like that.
Yes, ghosts can cause a lot of mess, that's true. They can move your furniture, they can move your things, they can break your things. Sometimes it is believed that ghosts can also take long hair of a lady and how to say that? Strangle? What do you call that? To kill her by the hair of the lady if the ghost is angry with the lady. Or they can take a rope and kill the person by the rope. That's what ghosts can do. But this is very rare. No worries. It's more. This would happen after you have some deal with the ghost or the ogre, and you fail to fulfill your part. So if you did not promise anything to ghosts or ogres, then no problem. This would usually happen if you promised something to them and then you didn't do it for them. But they did for you something what you wanted. So for example, you would say, you know what? I will serve you some kind of food, or I will serve you some kind of perfume, or I will talk with you every day in a certain way if you make sure that I get $1 million. And then they will bring you $1 million and you get your $1 million. But then you do not talk to them, or you do not give them the food, or you do not give them the perfumes. Well, then they get angry. Or there's the story that a ghost was in love with a lady, with a human lady, and they had a deal that the lady will be always faithful to the ghost. But one day the lady forgot and she fell in love with a human man. The ghost got angry. He took her hair and he killed her by her hair. So ghosts and ogres, we believe that they exist.
And also, it said in 1989, there's this person working at like a security office, and then suddenly like paintings fell down, wood fell down, and that fun
Yes.
thing, but then no one was even building.
Yes, you would say that this is a ghost. The ghosts are especially angry if you are active during the day, if you make noise during the day, because that's the time when ghosts sleep. Then at night, that's when they're awake. So if you disturb them during the day, because they feel that they own the house. Previously, they lived in the house, they died in the house, but they have attachment to this house. This is my house. and then they die and they are born as ghosts in that house. Then if during the day you do some repairs, you use these machines, whatever, electric screwdrivers and electric things, then they are disturbed. The ghosts, they cannot sleep, so they are angry, and then they show you that they are present, that they do not like that you are there, by throwing off these pictures and things and so on.
And then like he left, and then it's just the ghost suddenly stopped when he left.
Excuse me?
So after like a year, he got like so scared he just left that security office and then got another job, and then the ghost stopped everything.
Yeah, that's possible. Okay, today we had double class. Nice. So I'm happy that everyone came. Everyone was enough patient to withstand the difficulties we had with the connection and internet and Zoom and technical issues and so on and on and on. And I also hope that everyone will draw. It is not a duty, okay? It is not compulsory for you to draw a drawing, but I would be very happy if you make a drawing. All right? So then you can share with us your drawing. I can make sure that you understood the story, and we can move on to the second story next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Alright, everybody, please unmute yourself and say thank you, Venerable Sir.
Thank you, Venerable. Goodbye, and thank you, Venerable Sir.
Nice.